Hi and welcome to Intuitive Insights. On this channel we discuss everything to do with the ascension process. Today we're going to be discussing sort of a theme that we've seen kind of overarching 2020, right? Like this year has been a huge catalyst for a lot of people in their awakening process. And we put out a lot of videos on the different astrological aspects and what's going on with that. Like there's so much going on astrologically this year. These energies, these portals, these alignments of the planets that are just like lasering in this focus of these different energies to really push us through this process and lead us through this process. I mean, we have virtually every planet going retrograde this year. I mean, so it's really, we're going into this deep internal process of we just did a video on the dark night of the soul, like this collective dark night of the soul, like reevaluating every aspect of who we are and what we believe in, and just like really being transformed. And part of what's happening during that transformational process is we're getting more in touch with our divine essence, with our truth. And that's bringing us in touch with our soul mission. So for a lot of people, their soul mission and their soul purpose is going to be revealing itself or beginning to reveal itself during this year. I mean, we have Mars also getting ready to go into Pisces. And so that's sort of like our planet of drive and ambition and motivation going into that universal consciousness energy, right? And so we're looking at our drives and our motivations and like what fuels us, but we're looking at it from like how do we want to impact the collective? What is, for a lot of us, I think, like the mission that we have that involves like the unity and involves everything that we're learning about ourselves and about our divinity and about the fact that we are all sparks of that divinity having this experience together and just really evaluating that stuff. So we wanted to get into some of the like what might be coming up for people as regarding their soul purpose and their soul mission and just like guidance for people in that process.
Yeah, so what I've noticed is that ask yourself, like, or really look at, like, what are you passionate about? Like, what kind of energy do you feel when you are using your creative energy? You know, is it energy work? Is it reading tarot, like it is for me? Like, or, you know, anything along the lines of that, chakras or art, writing, you know, exercise, yoga. You know, those are just some like basic examples. You know, working with children, working with the elderly, like anything, you know, whatever really you feel passionately about, that you think about, like when you're daydreaming, like I really wish that I could do this, or I really, if I was following my heart, I would be doing this, and you know, thinking about those things and feeling it and really like reveling in like that heart space. And as you're doing that, you're going to draw that energy to you, because in essence, from another perspective, that's what you're already doing. You're just like merging that with your current timeline right now too. And that passion and desire is there because that's there to show you what you're meant to be doing. So
yeah, I had the quote that popped into my head while you were talking was, what would I do if I believed I could not fail? And so really asking yourself that question, like not like what makes sense for me to do or what do people tell me makes a lot of money, or what do people tell me what will look good? Like if I believed that I could not fail, that anything that I put my mind to I could achieve, what would I be doing? If I could do like Kayla said, what feeds my soul? What makes me passionate? What am I being drawn to? Like as we go through this evolutionary process, you may realize that you're being drawn to things that you weren't drawn to before. Or things that you once were drawn to and then you sort of fell out of touch with, you're being drawn to get back into again. And so it's just like following the stirrings of your soul and where it's trying to take you and where it feels like you feel like you're making the impact in the world that makes you feel good and fills your heart and fills your spirit with that creative energy. Where your joy is, where your bliss is. Like we weren't put here to do things that we disliked doing. We were put here to follow our bliss because that's how we're able to make the most impact in our own lives and in the lives of others. Like, those are our gifts. Those are the things. Like, that's the little whispers of our spirit being like, that's the thing, you know?
Exactly. And that's a part of shifting into the fifth dimension and anchoring in that new earth that we talk about, that fifth dimensional heart-centered consciousness is essentially taking that risk and trusting in spirit that you're going to be provided for, that it's okay to let go of the things that aren't serving you. Because what tends to happen with spiritual awakenings, and then when we begin to start to do things that our soul is calling us to do, that means that we have to, or we're being asked to release the job that we don't like, or the relationship that's not serving us, or to move from a different house, or, you know, whatever. Like, things on the physical tend to begin to reflect how you're feeling on the inside. And it's a really beautiful process, because it's all about learning how to trust your soul. And then it always ends up working out. And it's like our human selves want to be like, well, how am I going to, you know, take care of my family, or how am I going to provide, or, you know, all these human things. And it's like, lay all that aside for a moment. It's good to be realistic, but also to trust and have faith, because all possibilities are possible, and we are limitless beings, and it's a part of us claiming our power and our divinity within that. So
yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, follow your life's purpose, like we are beginning to do, and fully enjoying it and reveling in that process. And yeah, it's all beautiful and fun,
and yeah, that's what this is all about, you know, just really, and allowing yourself to go through this transformational process too, and just taking that as it comes and allowing it to reveal to you the things that it reveals to you, and not attaching to any one specific. It's like, we have these ideas and we're like, oh, this would be really fun, maybe this is what I want to do, maybe this is where I want to go, but it's constantly changing. So just being open to the way that that's going to change and flow and adapt, and allowing that process to happen, and just continuing to follow. It's like, I may be drawn to one thing, and I think that that's the thing, and then but really that thing was meant to draw me into something else. But now I can't be drawn into that something else, because I've decided this is the thing. And then I've decided, and I have to make this thing happen. And so I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and it's all going to go down like this. And I get so caught up in that process that I'm missing the other thing that was trying to come in.
Yeah.
So it's just about really staying open, and just really like staying engaged in that process of just like going in the directions that your soul is sort of like spurring you to go, right? And just really like knowing by the way that it makes you feel. And if it starts not feeling good, then sort of figuring out why that is. Like, I think, and this kind of can bring up even like with this channel, right? It was like Kayla and I had this vision. We wanted to make this vision happen. It was like super exciting and like, you know, motivating. And it like, we both feel so amazing when we do these videos. But sometimes if we allow ourselves to get caught up in too much of the semantics of like, well, where is this going? And how is this going to happen? And like, what's going to come of this? And like trying to micromanage or like, get stuck in the, oh, well, we got to put out more videos, we got to do this, and like getting into that heavier energy, it kind of like, it slows the momentum and the flow, and it's just like opening back up and being like, we don't know how this is going to look, you know. It's been a crazy few months. Like, we've had to adapt and change and go with the flow of so many outer circumstances, and like we don't have all the answers. We're just doing what we're drawn to do, and just trusting that everything's going to, like, what's meant to be created will be created. It's like those cards that we keep pulling about, like taking those first steps, right? And that dance with the universe. Like, that's what we're doing right now, is we're just dancing with the universe and not being attached to what that dance is. Like, it's not a choreographed dance. It's a very free flow, thank God, because I'm not good with choreography.
And I'm not coordinated at all. So there's that.
It's like just flowing with how you want to flow and how you want to move, and how the spirit is you know, like enticing us to move is really, you know, I guess the word that I would want to use there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful experience. So, yeah. Also,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to summarize. What I was trying to say there was just tapping into your joy. Like, that's how you navigate it, is by tapping into your joy. And when things start feeling heavier, thinking like, how can I tap back into my joy? And like, what has brought me out of my joy? And how can I move back into that? And using that as sort of like a navigation system to keep you sort of aligned and focused towards where it is that you're going. Yeah. Because it should always be fun. The creation process should always be fun. And I mean, I don't want to use words like should, because that's a judgment. But it is meant to be. It has the potential to be fun. So it's just allowing yourself to have fun with it and just staying in that vibration. And, you know, like Kayla said, like that attracts the abundance. That attracts all the good things when you're in that place with it. It's like we can be doing something that our soul is passionate about, but if we're putting a ton of pressure on ourselves and we're getting really like stressed out over the little details of it and the ways that we want to make it manifest, then it's not fun for us anymore and it's not enjoyable. And because it's not fun and enjoyable, we're kind of like slowing down the momentum of it.
We attract what we are. We attract, everything is energy and vibration and frequency. So in essence, the key is to be in the vibration that you're attracting or that you want more of. And the thinking process can assist in that. But it really just comes down to being in the present moment, reveling in that present moment, honoring whatever it is that you feel in that present moment, and being fully and completely in the now. And yeah, at least that's how it's been for me.
Yeah. Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so that's basically what we have on Soul Mission, Soul Purpose. And if you have any questions or you'd like an additional reading or energy healing session, we both do things like that. So we'll have our emails down below. And those services can be extremely helpful in trying to navigate which way to go, or, you know, maybe we'll put up some readings in regards to that specific, you know, we're going to be doing a lot of different readings like twin flame readings and soul mission readings and things of that nature. So if that's something that you would like, just send us an email. And if you feel inclined to donate to our channel, we would really appreciate that. It's a part of the fifth dimensional consciousness in regards to giving and receiving and anchoring in that new currency in the fifth dimension. So, yeah. Awesome.
We love you. Yes. Have a wonderful day and keep moving towards, just keep listening to your souls and feeding your souls and moving toward that purpose and just being open to the ever-evolving state and nature of what that is. And as always, you are all divine and you are all beautiful, and just so much gratitude for each and every one of you.